Okay, warping out to a safe spot. So the end user license agreement changes coming with the EVE Online Ascension. So we move toward the introduction of Alpha and Omega clones. There are a number of changes need to make the EVE Online end user license agreement in order to ensure that it stays up to date with new access paradigms. I don't even know what the hell that word is.
You were correct. It's paradigm.
Okay, paradigm. Okay, so very good. Okay, but it has a G in it.
It's silent.
Yeah. That will introduce free access to EVE Online. With this in mind, in order to be crystal clear regarding the changes that we are making in the end user license agreement, we have decided to publish a redlined version of it in advance so that the community can clearly see where changes have been made. This new version of the end user license agreement will come into effect and will need to be accepted on Tuesday, November 8th, with the launch of EVE Online Ascension. In addition to these changes, we're required to make all ILUA to the ILUA as we move forward a free access paradigm. We also have made decision to include further changes as we feel appropriate in moving forward. This change is related to the conduct part of the ILUA, specifically Section B. Oh shit, not Section B. Oh, sorry, just being dramatic. Which has been updated as follows. Selling items and object. You may not transfer, sell, or auction, or buy, or accept, or offer to transfer, sell, or auction. Jesus Christ. Or offer to do any of the foregoing, any consent appearing within the game environment, any content appearing within the game environment, including without limitation characters, character attributes, items, currency, and objects other than via permitted character transfer as described in Section 3 above. You may not encourage or introduce any other person to participate in such prohibited transactions. You may not use, transfer, or assign any game assets for games of chance operated by third parties. Yep. Rip the lotteries. The buying, selling, and auctioning or attempt to do so of characters, character attributes, items, currency, or objects, whether through online auctions, newsgroups, postings, or message boards, or any other means is prohibited by the ILUA and a violation of CCP's proprietary rights in the game. Okay, so, in short, this addition to EVE Online ILUA means... Turn my music down here. That as of the launch of EVE Online Ascension, players will be prohibited from using in-game assets and currency as well as the EVE IP to take part or promote in any gambling services or other games of chance that are operated by third parties. Dude, I know the politics behind this, and the person that was the biggest proponent of keeping these things up and running is no longer with the company. So... Eula, dyslexic me, I'm reading this awful good, even if I am reversing the L and the U, right? Okay, so in short, this addition to the EVE Online Eula means that as of launch of EVE Online Ascension, players will be prohibited from using in-game assets, currency, and IP, to promote gambling services and other games of chance operated by third parties. With this in mind, as of this announcement, we have taken action against... they've taken action against two organizations that are currently offering third-party services based around gambling and games of chance. Third-party service, I Want ISK, has been shut down in-game. And all... You know what? This is part of the browser being shut down, too. So I Want ISK has been shut down in-game, and all ISK and assets have been confiscated after extensive and exhaustive investigation brought forward compelling evidence of large real money trading. Permanent account suspensions have been issued against those involved. Rollas, where are you? And Goldie. Did you guys get popped? Let me message Rollas real quick.
That would include Moose as well, if he's still a banker for I1S, no?
Oh, shit. Yeah, well, let me message Moose, too. Okay, so I messaged Moose as well. We'll see. Rollas is not online. Moose is. So there's also also uh, um, so yeah, we'll see if Moose is online. He's at work right now, so okay. So permanent account suspension has been issued against those involved. The third-party service Eve Casino has been shut down in-game. I need to stay moving. You can't just sit in one spot. You get scanned down. Let's see here. So the third-party service Eve Casino has been shut down in-game, and all ISK and assets have been confiscated after multiple sustained breaches of our developer license agreement. Permanent account suspicions have been issued against those involved. Now, wasn't Eve Casino, isn't that run by the Matani?
I honestly don't know.
I think that is his site. So, yeah, I believe that's the Matani, which is, of course, the goons' leader. You know. So he can add this to his book. Nyuk, nyuk, nyuk. Okay. So breaches of their developer license agreement.
Welcome to the Dragons.
Huh. That's really interesting. Atheist, thank you for following. Welcome. What the fuck just happened there? Holy shit.
Man, you know what that means? That so many people are going to be out billions and billions of ISK just by having their accounts invested on I1ISK. You know,
Yes.
whatever their wallet is on there is gone.
Yes, but also, I mean, their accounts may be gone. So
even if you play it, maybe? Really? Mm-hmm.
Well, not for playing, but yeah. Okay. So, and here's something else interesting: is that when they confiscate large things like this, it drives Plex price down in game. So because what CCP does is they start converting the assets like the ISK and the Plex into Plex, and then they start seeding it into the market, which brings the in-game price down because they leave it in the economy. They don't just delete it out of the economy. So we could see a drop in Plex. So let's see here. I didn't even know that there's a developer license agreement, but okay. So CCP will not be issuing reimbursements based on the outstanding ISK or assets balances with either of the above mentioned organizations that have been subject to the account action and or ISK and asset confiscation. As of the launch of EVE Online Ascension, the hosting of and participating in any form of third-party gambling services that utilize in-game assets, currency, or the EVE IP will be strictly prohibited. This is a big change in stance for them. They've always had some heartburn from this, but I can tell you that the gambling sites have had a really they've been a really big driver on the in-game economy, on the transfer of funds going back and forth. So, yeah, let's see. So it's been a really big driver on that, and so G3, you say you just logged in, not banned. Were you a banker or just a player? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm tempted to phone Rollez. Although he is offline on Skype, he never goes offline. So
he got banned so hard, he got banned from the internet.
No, I don't think so. Actually, Rollez is. So if a character is banned, do they show up in search any longer? Like if I search. No, there he is right there. So Um, yeah, I don't. Looks normal. I don't know if they're. I don't know if their characters. What happens to their characters if they're banned? So. Um, let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. In the run-up to November 8th, all services that offer any form of third-party gambling of this nature are required to wind down their operations. During the time, okay, so there's another. Oh, you know what? I wonder how that affects, like. Okay, so no, I know that like Iron Bank. That. In fact, let me message him too. Um, Hey, so I know that Iron Bank does his Twitch shows, and uh, so, but he does a lot of stuff on there, um, and giving away ships and all kinds of stuff like that. He's always been sponsored by IWI, and so maybe that will dry up. But um, you know, just. I wonder. So, let's see. Let me see here. I wonder if I have.
I wonder what's going to happen to all these I Want Us sponsored streams that you see out nowadays. Are they all just going to disappear now?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. I don't know that they're going to disappear, but they certainly won't have the funding anymore. So Iron split from IWI and started Eve Casino. You think? No, gosh, really? Iron was moving to Eve Casino. Well, either way, yeah. So, okay, let's see. So that's all. Ascension, our security team will be closely monitoring these game entities to ensure that no illicit behavior occurs and the movement of in-game assets and currency remains within line with the current EULA and terms of service. Please note, given that the Alliance tournament is currently ongoing, we are aware that some players may have outstanding wagers on alliances who are competing with our third-party competing with our third-party services who have not been subject to account action and or ISK compensation. And so that's Eve Bet is what they're talking about. So Eve Bet is another one of them. But Eve Bet has typically taken wagers in ISK and done it on regular sporting events, much more like a bookie instead of a lottery. So these third-party services are free to finalize these wagers over the course of the weekend given that they have not broken our rules, but must wind down operations in orderly fashion by 11 a.m. UTC, Tuesday, November 8th. Now, there's also something else here. It's called kiting funds, and I hope that these other services that were not banned on this, everyone's going to want to cash out. And if they were kiting funds at all, meaning that they do not have all of the ISK to cover all of the payouts, then there's going to be a lot of very upset people. So, are they going to run some sort of official lottery themselves? I doubt it. So, IWI is still up. Well, this announcement just came out, and the guy who runs IWI is possibly still asleep. So I'm sure they'll put up something later. Okay, any questions regarding this? There's a thread. Okay, so anyway, that is that. So the hammer's been dropped on gambling in the game. Gambling has been a double-edged sword, and so we of course were heavily involved with Somer Blink, which was the first really big one. And they were an affiliate of ours, and we didn't control them in any way or anything like that. But they, referred sales to us, and we paid them for those affiliate things, and that's how they funded their site, the whole operations that they ran in there, and they drove a lot of sales for CCP. They really did. And so, but they were like this, brilliant member of the family that everybody was really proud of their accomplishments. But this person had an explosive temper and would beat the shit out of a family member every once in a while. And so they were in this huge conflict. Look at all of this stuff coming in, and look at how bad this is at the same time. And so eventually they shut down operations. It's it'll be interesting to see. What exactly happens in the future, how the economy reacts, and how this affects the in-game economy. So now this didn't say. This only says external sites. You can still run lotteries in the game, right? I think this is only externally. So, real soda poppin', you're going to have to wait. So, Awesome Man, thank you for donating $1 up there on YouTube. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate the support. That'll go towards betterment of the show or whiskey. So, and I don't know what brought this around. I guess that they found that... See, one of the other problems with IWI and how it operated was that they were made up of a lot of volunteers who got paid in ISK, and those payments in ISK, then if some of them were unscrupulous, most of them were just fine, but if some of them were unscrupulous, and...
You, sir, rock.
Whoa, 2 years. If some of them were unscrupulous and were trying to sell stuff for money in real life, then they totally violated the stuff, and they totally get banned, and that's totally appropriate. So, Jay-Z